Gal Metal is the newest game by the one and only 1 million troop man himself, Tak Fuji. Gal Metal is the first game of his in a while, and I'll be frank, the game has some very incredible highs and some really incredible lows. So let's start with the highs. For one, the story is incredibly funny. You see, you play as your average high school student going home and you suddenly bump into a girl. Nothing suspicious of course, one might even consider this normal. Now, what's not normal is being abducted by talking octopi, saying they're going to wage war on Earth, and their first act of war is combining the both of you together. The next morning, it turns out that crazy night you had was not a dream, and you've taken over the body of the girl you bumped into. Keep in mind, she's still around, but for all intents and purposes, she might as well not exist, as she doesn't really do anything. Now back to those aliens. Turns out the reason why they want Earth gone is because we gave them music. Not just any music, but metal. This genre of music is their one true weakness and is messing up their livelihood, and they decided to get rid of its source. Luckily for you, that body you took over just so happened to be the leader of a metal band. So it's up to you and your band to save the world through the power of metal. Rock on! Throughout this maybe 5-hour adventure, whenever it was time for the story to advance, I knew I was in for a good time, even if it was only for a few minutes. And the game's art is incredibly charming. Although, everything else in the game itself is very hit or miss, unfortunately. Gal Metal is all about min-maxing your stats in time for you to face off with the aliens. There are 5 stars you can work on improving throughout the game. They range from making combos easier to making enemies attack you less frequently. So the more you build them up, the easier the game gets. That said, this piece is completely optional. Your stats are built up by choosing somewhere on the map to go and spending your time there. The game will tell you how your stats will increase or decrease before you choose to do it too. If you decide to hang out with a friend, the main stat being increased will increase for each friend that's in that particular spot. Again, if you don't want to do any of this, you can either laze away and do nothing until the time comes, or you can practice solo or in a group. Practicing solo is simple. All you have to do is clear a rhythm of your choice 5 times during a song meant to be played during the gig. Practicing with the group is practically the same as the chapter's boss battle. The only difference is that for one, you don't know what score you need to be considered a success. The other difference is that you'll be able to see what notes to hit and when to make a beat. Whereas when it's time to face off with the aliens, you're going to have to make a feel for it. In regards to the gameplay itself, it's not all that great if you play with just the Joy-Cons. But, to its credit, it is the most fun way of playing. You can change the sensitivity as much as you want, but one way or another, either a movement wouldn't register or be registered twice, it can seriously mess up your flow if this catches you off guard. Playing solo or in a group means you accurately have to time when it's your time to start up again. During the main event, good luck because you no longer have that crutch, and you'll have to rely on your own timings to get by. If you just can't feel the beat like me, don't worry, waggling your way to victory is a viable option as well. If you can at least match the tone and rhythm of what's going on in the song, the game will give you some sort of bonus at the end of the song for your efforts. On one rare occasion, I did get 1,000,000 points this way, so it can work out. If you want, you can use the touchscreen, but it just makes the game feel incredibly awkward. The same goes for using a controller as well. It is something you can do, and it'll be the most pinpoint way to play, but something about it just doesn't feel as fun as using the Joy-Cons. Regardless, at the end of the song, the game will rate you on how well you did regardless of points. Whether you went completely wild, stuck to a single beat, or if you were just off note the entire time. Overall, the game is certainly fun. It's pretty much what if Wii Music had a soul. The game certainly has a lot of charm and character, but when it comes to jamming out, it's mediocre at best. Of course, your mileage will vary heavily due to how much the control schemes work for you. If you're able to get the hang of everything, its New Game Plus mode and other modes will certainly put your skills to the test, so be prepared. And that does it for our review of Gal Metal. To see the written review, be sure to check out our website, GamingGamma.com. A link to that review will be provided down in the description bar below. If you have any questions about the game or the review, by all means leave them down in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you. And if you're new to my channel, finding me out for the first time through this review, hey, be sure to subscribe for future reviews, commentaries, let's plays, and more. And as always everyone, thanks for watching.